Hey everyone. Well, while we're on this commercial break, I'll show everyone my new dog that we adopted. His name is Dion. He's 6.
Hey, hey, buddy.
He's a good boy and he's super chill.
Nice.
Yeah, I was just doing
That's
a little
awesome.
commercial break while your phone was coming back.
Yeah, thank you. Cool. There we go. I think I'm back.
Cool. Yeah, where's Jonathan?
Let's see. I'm gonna add him back. Oh, I just invited him back.
Um,
Sorry, I am mobile today, and so my internet is not the best.
it's
I
all
was
good,
getting
you know.
ready to mention that Substack was being weird and not letting me accept the invite. Also, your dog's
Yeah.
fantastic. I saw
Thank
the
Right?
you.
commercial break there.
Right? He's so cute
Adorable.
and he's so chill. So, yeah, he's a Philly boy. Um,
I mean, I can find him
but
an agent
yeah,
in LA probably
yeah.
pretty easily.
I mean, hey, he needs to start paying rent. So,
Yeah, dogs are more expensive than you realize.
Hardly ever. I tell my dog all the time, like they're literally over there laying down in their bed, just lazy,
Yeah.
like just doing nothing. I was like, you guys
yeah,
could start a Substack or something, like
yes,
something. It's really
agreed.
unfortunate.
Yeah,
So maybe we can try intro again while I'm still alive.
We'll try.
Uh,
yes.
Gotta love these technical difficulties with Substack
yeah.
Live. It's fantastic.
So
Um,
Max, why are you on Substack?
I'm on here because I joined a couple years ago. I originally wanted to start my own like community newsletter, writing about like community topics that like weren't the 101 stuff that's already written about. Um, and I did that for about 6 months off and on, had no schedule. And then I was laid off from my first like real big community role. And I was kind of like, all right, I don't know what to write about. I don't want to be pigeonholed in the community. I
Mm,
started like writing about on my LinkedIn Sunday thoughts and just like every Sunday I just shared 5 things that I wanted to talk about. And and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna bring that over to Substack. And so I started to just like do that on a regular basis. And yeah, 2 years later, like here we are. I love it. The community's been awesome. People have been like, connecting with you both. Like we would have never been connected otherwise. So yeah, it's a lot of like cool people on there. It's like it just reminds me a lot of original social media before social media went to this thing of
it's black hole.
performativeness. Yes.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like, hey, like people are actually just sharing what they want to share and they don't really care as much. And there's still some of that, right? For sure. Like it's not
Mhm.
like, so black and white, um but it just reminds me of like the OG of the fun of social. And so and I just love writing, so it's just like a cool mix of everything.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the recaps on Sundays. I feel like I can follow your life journey, and it's very organic and um, it's one of those things where I feel like I would love to do something like that for my friends and family.
Hmm.
And I'd have to get over my own ego as far as like sharing that publicly, and worrying about like what people think. But I do think there's so much value in kind of the weekly journal format and
Yeah.
allowing your friends to kind of keep tabs and keep up with what's going on.
Yeah. One of my friends, Kyle, he doesn't do this on a like weekly basis or anything or in a
Mhm.
journal, but every 6 months or so he'll email every like all his friends and family members and people he's ever connected with and just give them an update on his life.
I love
Um,
that.
Mm.
and it's
We
so
used to have
cool. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it. One of my favorite things to this day is, Jaleesa and I, we used to live in DC, when, early in our careers, 20 something, we used to live in DC, point blank period. But we had this neighbor and her name was Shannon, and she was just fantastic. Her and her husband were these amazing human beings. They, very much just like, if we had any struggles at all, they'd be like, "You want to come over for dinner?" We got like the whole gambit. They were fantastic until this day, right? Like I've seen their kids go from, tiny little humans to grown adults. And we moved from DC about 2 years prior to the pandemic, about a year and a half prior to the pandemic. And so every year they send out these kind of just like yearly wrap ups. And like every year when we see that email come through, it is just one of my favorite things because we unfortunately we don't really talk to them much anymore since we moved, but they'll send the email out. They'll still follow up with an email directly at us. Like they send like a group wide email, but then they'll send an email directly at us, just asking if we have any updates or anything they can pray for, anything we can talk to them about, just how our kids are doing. And it's my favorite thing. It really is.
I love
I
that.
love it.
Yeah.
I love it so much. Like such a truly like internet way of connecting, but just like not an internet way of connecting.
Mm,
Um, like Seth talked about it when the first thing we did this in regards to like the power of hopping on a Zoom together or doing one of these lives together. And I love all these different ways of internet communication that we're still doing outside of social media.
mm.
But yeah, that's just what that just made me think of. So I had to go on a tangent there.
No, you're good, man.
Email your friends and
Um,
family. Definitely email your friends and family. I think that's
yeah,
the
man.
first take out of this.
Right. That's your first community, right? You were talking about
Mhm.
Yeah.
community, right? And like, what is community, right? What does it mean uh, when someone says you need community, you need to build community, you need to maintain community, right? Um, well, if you're not sure where to start, you should start close to home.
Hmm.
You should
Mm.
start with your friends, start with your family. Do they know that you have a Substack, right? Do they? And I can't even believe I just said that because I like you know kind of take a little issue with like the replacement of a newsletter with a Substack. Um, but uh, but yeah, like, do people know you're writing online, right? And you could probably poll your subscribers that are also writers on Substack and say, like, hey, like, who have you told about your newsletter, right? Have you told
Hmm.
everyone that you're connected to, on LinkedIn? Have you gone through your email list and mentioned it to everyone? And
Yeah.
most people probably
One,
say no.
yeah. Well, because one thing I've seen common on Substack is people, they want to build community, but with the other writers that are on the platform, not bring over people i- that's in their current life or past or
Hmm.
anything. They kind of want to start fresh. Like
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed that
that's what I
too.
see. Like people just want to be
Yeah.
like, All right, I don't know anyone, no one knows me. I want to build with these people. I don't want to bring people over from
LinkedIn.
Instagram, LinkedIn.
Yeah.
mm,
Like I just want to I want to be the new kid in school,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
kind of cool because there's not a lot of places on the internet that you can do that.
That's true.
And it still feel like it has reach. Like
Yeah.
I feel like Substack is in this place where it's just like it's not anywhere near user base of like Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. Nowhere near that, right? Um, but also you're not pitching into a void of the internet. So like
Yeah.
you're discoverable in a way, but you're not like discoverable, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I do feel
Substack,
it's called social
yeah,
media because
definitely.
of the lack of integrations. I've mentioned this to several people.
Yep.
Justin Welsh had a thread that I commented on recently where I was like, yeah, I think it's gonna remain, uh, you know, um, relatively calm as long as they don't open up an API. Like there are pockets of nonsense. There's slop everywhere. Substack is not immune to slop,
Mm-mm.
but I think you will see far less of it. And I feel like we'll probably be able to retain um, a bit of the natural, like, organic feel for a while, as long as that that remains true.
I have a completely opposite theory, but that's not what this conversation is
Mm.
supposed to be. I give us like 5 months.
5 months.
I give
Well, okay, so
I
a
give
little bit of a
us
tangent.
5 months to
There,
a year before this
the
place
most
becomes a
ironic
cesspool.
thing, the most ironic thing I saw this past week on Substack was I'm not going to mention the name, but a very popular AI newsletter, um, you know, put out a note, and they were saying, how do we handle AI generated comments?
I know which one you're
Uh,
talking about.
and I thought
Yeah.
that was hilarious because it's like, very ironic that, someone talking ad nauseum about AI is having this issue and doesn't
Hmm.
know how to deal with it. It's like you would think with all of the power, all the tools, all of the agents at our disposal that we could deal with this problem, but we can't because Substack is a closed platform, right?
Hmm.
So Substack actually has to deal with the problem, but we know how fast their product development cycles are, and so don't hold your breath waiting for Substack to solve that problem.
Nah,
Yeah.
So
nah.
like they were saying, okay, do I need to like pay gate comments, right? But that's another challenge. So
Yeah, I mean
thanks, man. Yeah.
um it's a that's a problem too in the community space in general, like on community owned platforms,
Mhm.
where you'll get a lot of questions and answers that are all AI generated, and they'll drop in like a link. They'll the the text and everything is it reads like a normal question, and all of a sudden like one word is hyperlinked to something. Um yeah, it's become, and it just gets past all the phishing and all the stuff like that other, these companies have, these platforms have. So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So enough of the rabbit holes. Um, First question, Max, is around the classic, getting your first 100 users for a community, right? A lot of people are using Substack to build community. They are leveraging the chat feature.
Hmm.
Some folks have, separate platforms, whether it's Discord or Slack or school, to build community there. And I don't know if you saw this, but Dig is prepping a comeback, which is
Hmm.
fascinating to me. And uh, they have this private community on Circle, and they have like 30,000 people in there already. It's like insane. And they're like dripping um, designs and kind of like allowing people to follow the journey uh, to release, which is interesting. So I'm just curious, like in 2025, like how do you get those first 100 users to be a part of the community, to be engaged, not just kind of lurkers, right?
Hmm.
And there's a difference between subscribers and community members, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it goes back to like what we opened this conversation about, of how to start building community with like just people that you know, and like, and you can kind of help have, you can use them as support to kind of get the word out, and like kind of use the initial, 4 to 5, 6, 10 members, people that subscribe, to kind of be like, oh, like, why did you subscribe? Like, what was about this? Like, why are you actively opening my newsletter every week? And like, then you can kind of use that information to tailor it to be like, okay, like, I have 10 subscribers, but 8 of them are opening my emails every Monday or whatever you send a post. And how can we get more people like them, right? So like, what are you doing now that's attracting them? How can we encourage these folks to share with their networks to get more of their friends, and then kind of continue on? And it's a slow process. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's not like a marketing campaign where you just turn on ads and you get that funnel. And I mean, you can do that. But again, I think that's like more of subscribers, less of actual community people that are buying into it. But yes, exactly. Like doing things that don't scale. I think initially, in the beginning, that's the most important things that you can do, is the doing the things that can't scale, and that should something that should always be part of your overall building process, even as a community becomes from 10 people to 100,000. Like, you can still do
Hmm.
stuff that doesn't scale. It just might take a back burner to like when you were initially building it. But yeah, I think it's like reaching out to members that are currently subscribed, seeing what gets them to subscribe, getting them involved, building with them, hopping on us live with them, right? Like people want to be amplified. Even if you have 10 subscribers, someone else has 5 subscribers, hop on a live, who knows who's going to join. It seems like Substack is pushing this feature to get people in. Um, Someone might join, you get one person, great. That one person tells another and it's just like it's a slow thing, but it works. And so I think it's like a lot of times people get overwhelmed and they're like, oh, I need to have this master plan of all this stuff. It's just like, no, like you'll have a few subscribers, work with them, continue to build. And over time, you'll be like, dang, now I have 1,000 subscribers and then 10,000. And then, you know, who knows?
Agreed.
I cannot stress enough how much panic that brings to my soul, the thought of like 10,000 like people. Like I just like I saw it was in the earlier days of my Substack career or works here where someone was just like imagine like you say 50 subscribers is a little, but imagine talking to a room of 50 people.
Yeah.
And that was like circulating constantly. And I was just like, nah, I think 50 is a lot too. Like I just that personally is just a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's
but
crazy
yeah.
too. And then, yeah, you look at your numbers too. Like you have like to me, having 50 subscribers and having 40 or 45 or all 50 like read and open your inbox is so much more impactful than having 5,000 and having like 100 people open and read. Because it just shows man, like the community, the people that you built around this are really, really engaged and they really want to like be in
Yeah.
there. And yeah, like I think, you know, but yeah, I don't know. I don't have 10,000 subscribers. It would be crazy to have 10,000 subscribers. I also would probably be a little panicked. I would also probably feel a little bit more pressure to constantly create. Um,
Mm. Yeah.
but I think that's just stuff that we put on ourselves too.
It
Yeah.
absolutely is. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
that. I mean, we grew up on the internet, right? And so like we know that having eyes or leveraging the eyes around you is supposed to, come with this power. And I think that sometimes that can be very like anxiety inducing as a whole. Like I have no idea. Love to talk to them and ask them for those who have like millions or have like the orange mark without the circle filled in, those who have the orange mark with the circle filled in, those who have purple marks,
Yeah.
like what does that look like for you? Like at this point, because like at this point, is it literally just like, do you still have fun doing this, or is it fully just a business and like your business is ran through Substack? Um, and is it, yeah, that's ultimately like, I couldn't imagine. I could not imagine like that level of like, because at that point, I think the purple marker is 1 million, right?
A
Is that what that's
thousand. I
supposed
think I think it's thousands or
thousands? Okay.
no. You're right. It's because
The purple marker, I thought it was 1 million. Like
it
you may
is.
hit
Yeah, I think you're right.
1 million.
Yeah. Or, no, tens of thousands. I think
Tens of thousands. Okay.
tens of yeah, tens of thousands.
Okay. Tens of
So
thousands.
I think only
Yeah.
I think probably less than 10 writers, or I should say newsletters, because a lot of these are collectives or actually media companies, um,
Mm,
have that. And yeah, it's there was I'm trying to remember the name of the newsletter, uh, the historian, can't remember her
I
name,
don't think I've
but
seen that one.
yeah, she's incredible, and she does a daily kind of recap on uh, how current events in like politics in the U.S. are connected to the past. Um,
Mm,
and yeah, she has that purple badge. Yeah, yep. Um,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
so I'm curious, like if you're kind of focused on, okay, let me you know reach out to my friends, let me contact some subscribers and try and build slowly. Like how do you stay motivated to keep going? One kind of hack that I've tried in the past that has been helpful is to focus on percentage
Mhm.
increases instead of raw numbers. And so an obvious example is, you have 5 people in your Discord or in your Slack group, and then next week you have 10. You just like you know, doubled,
Yeah.
increased by 100%, right? So that's like phenomenal, right? And that's phenomenal growth for a week. And
Mhm.
you may think, oh, I only added 5 people, and you might beat yourself up, but that's not how you should look at it, you know?
Yeah. I think a great motivating tactic, and this applies to like everything, is like having that wins folder, you know? So you take a screenshot of a great comment on your post or a message or whatever, text or anything, and you just like put it away. And then it's something for you to revisit on days where just like, dang, like it's not going the way I want it to go or X, Y, and Z. Like it's just, I do that for every month. I have a Notion database and I have it for like May and June and July and blah blah. And I just like keep track of one liner wins and I put screenshots in there and I do like an end of month reflection, you know?
Hmm.
But that's like a good motivator. Because then you'll be like even like the percentage idea is great. And then stuff like this too is like, okay, like well, wow, I got a really good comment on my post that I forgot about. And like someone's like, "Oh, I love your writing and I'm subscribing," or I just shared this with my friend, or like it got me through a hard time. It's like we forget about that stuff because we're just like joining from one thing to the next to the next.
Yeah,
And so,
absolutely.
yeah, it's a good reflection tool to have to like,
Hmm.
for that time to keep you going to keep you motivated because again, like if you do help that one person you have that sort of impact, like that's the goal. Like the 10,000 stuff is nice, but like that one is really it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah.
agreed. Second, the accomplishment folder slash notebook. I believe in a hard copy notebook when possible,
Yes.
and
Yes.
get yourself a notebook where you literally just write wins and especially in like my current grieving period that I find myself in, which is such a weird way to phrase it. But I started a new notebook and literally all it is just letters to myself about trying to be, kinder, taking the wins for it, what the day is. But yeah, I've done it in Obsidian, off and on, like work wise, and I never did it for personal, like actually, like just more so like personal dad wins or personal husband wins, which are definitely countable,
Hmm.
if not the most countable things I do in a day, or even like friendship wins. But I always used to do it for work, right? So most of those accomplishment things were always like 9 to 5 work focus wins. Um, but doing it for personal definitely is a perspective changing, massively perspective changing. That is a highly suggest if you're not doing that. Definitely get yourself a
Yeah.
notebook for, hey, I was awesome today. Like, hey, I cut a tantrum down from 15 minutes to 10, and that's successful. Like that's prime parenting right there.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah.
I love it. That's a good one, man. What is Substack missing? Like, what opportunity are they leaving on the table uh, when it comes to community and the tools that are available to writers?
It's a great question. And it's funny because I don't utilize all the tools that are currently available. Like I don't do the like I use notes a lot because it's just like I'm not on X or Twitter anymore, and so I use um notes as like my replacement of it. I
Hmm.
don't use like the messaging feature a bunch with like the subscriber chat. I think that's a cool idea. But I think yeah, I don't know. I think one thing that would be really cool to do, and I know they have these like lives, but like videos with your community of subscribers. So if you want to like host like an accountability writing session, right? Like let's just all
Oh, I see what
jam
you're
and
saying.
work together, and like chat with each other live. Like I think that'd be like this, but just with your community. Um,
So like
Yeah.
yeah,
everybody can kind of join in. So
yeah,
okay. Like how Seth does Zoom calls, but like
yes,
inside the platform instead of
yeah,
just okay. Yeah, I like that.
That would
yeah,
be amazing. Like, and folks having like a chat, uh, and it being on desktop, so it's easier for people to engage.
hmm,
And I'm not holding my phone like a barbarian for 45 minutes.
I ordered a stand for this. I'm not gonna lie to you, Daniel.
Mine's on the way too. It's
I
coming.
was like, I ordered a stand for this. This is ridiculous. I
Yeah.
don't want to hold my
Yeah,
phone like this or iPad
yeah,
like this. This is crazy.
yeah.
But yeah.
No, I would love that. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I do think uh, the chat feature could use some love.
Hmm.
Uh, I have seen people leverage it uh, really effectively. I know um, for the Feed Me newsletter, they have this concept of guest lectures, which I've stolen unapologetically, um, where you can basically, if you're a paid subscriber, you can ask questions to like the guest writer, which is really cool and a good use case for chat. I've noticed that Substack for like public chats does push them in the notes feed
Hmm.
if they're getting a lot of engagement. And when it comes to like bestsellers, it the ranking is based on not just the number of paid subscribers, but also the engagement level, and they include chat in that.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
So there's this
interesting.
like
Yeah.
algorithm that they have where in order to rank newsletters on their platform, and basically you're judged by like how engaged your community is, how many comments are on your posts, right? How many
Oh. Huh.
restacks are there, but also chat. And so that is why I haven't written off chat completely. I don't use it for any thinkers at all. Uh, and Jonathan has inspired me to do lives, and maybe he will inspire me to incorporate chat. We'll see. But I'm curious about that. Like, Max, like, have you been a part of chats on Substack, in other communities, other newsletters? Like,
No, I mean, I honestly, besides coming back to do these lives, like I previously have like deleted the app from my phone. um, and the reason being is just because I was scrolling too much, right? Like I was like,
So
I'm
much.
just consuming so much and just like scrolling and
mm,
reading and scrolling, and I was like, dang, like this has just replaced what I was doing on Instagram. So I deleted it and then I put it back on because I was like doing some of these and want to join again. But yeah,
mm,
so I haven't like taken full advantage of the stuff.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I think chat is on desktop too, but it's not
yeah,
so they have like a web app basically that I'm sure you've seen, and it's not that great. So I don't. You probably haven't really been prompted to engage in anyone's chat on
yeah.
desktop. I don't think. Uh,
Mm-mm.
yeah, yeah, cool. Um, so another kind of thread I want to pull on is forums. So I mentioned, first 100 users of a community. Um, if you were building Reddit from scratch today, like what would be your strategy to foster community on that kind of forum platform? I also mentioned that Dig is coming back. Kevin Rose started Dig years ago. It's kind of this beloved Reddit style
Hmm.
forum, and they're prepping to relaunch later this year. Um, so I'm just curious, like, what your perspective is on like forums, the value of them in this kind
Yeah.
of agentic, like artificial world that we're in, and like the human like opinion and how valued that is now.
Yeah. So I think there's a ton of value in them as long as that's like where your members are and want to be. I think community as a whole is going through this transition period of like I think for a long time when people thought of community, it was like, oh, it's just a forum, right? Like you join this thing, you're in the forum, you're in the community. Um, where now it's like, okay, some members are there, but some are on Reddit, some are on Substack, some are just on other social. how do we meet them where they are without forcing them to just be on our platform? That like we're already going to lose so much engagement just because it's hard to force people off to do something that they don't, want to be at. And so I think if I was building something that was like strictly forum based, I would one have that in mind, that just be like, hey, like expectation wise, like member behaviors are just different from where they were even 5 years ago. Um, and two is like, okay, how can we still create value for our members that are for people that want to join our forum, but then also people that aren't a part of there, right? Like, so like, how can we create content to like attract people to here, but then also like make it useful for where they're at? So if that means like, we want to help, we want to also like build a Reddit page, or we want to build a social following, or like whatever it is. I think it's just like my immediate strategy and focus would be on that. Just because, especially like the past year or two, like, and working for a huge company like Square previously, like we just saw engagement dip year after year after year. And I think part of it was, one is our members are business owners, right? So they're already busy. They don't have time to be online answering
Mm,
questions. But I think two is also just member behavior, right? Like it's friction to have to go into another platform to sign in to do this, if it's not just like on your phone as an app, or if it's not just like part of your regular behavior. Um, and it's really hard to train out of that. Like you could have the best content, you got the best whatever, but like at the end of the day, if I just don't use an app for whatever reason, I'm not going to use it. So yeah,
yep. No, that
I don't know if
totally
that
makes
answered the
sense.
question, but I would just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, I guess I
I think
wouldn't
the
go
expectation
fully in.
setting is
Yeah,
key. Yeah,
yeah,
right. Yeah, I think you nailed it. It's like, um, you know, people need to understand that there is friction involved, no matter what platform you choose or if you build your own platform. And to understand that you're not going to capture everyone, and that's okay. Um, and you know, it's possible that moving forward, it's not 1,000 true fans, it's 100. You know, I think maybe numbers are smaller, they're more intimate, they're deeper, and not as wide. Uh, these communities like moving forward, and I started to Seth from Social Media Escape Club really challenged his community to build their own website. And he talked a lot about how, you shouldn't put all, shouldn't put all your eggs in the Substack basket. And what's interesting about that, excuse me, is you can add a custom domain to your newsletter and like make it your own, but you still don't completely own the platform, you know.
yeah,
And so there is like risk involved in like posting all your content and not backing it up anywhere, right? Like you should always like write your posts outside of Substack, and then add them to Substack. You shouldn't just like only, keep them there, right? But you know, having your own website, right, is like kind of coming back in vogue. You're seeing a lot of writers create these bespoke websites just for like one essay. One of the most famous examples of that is highagency.com, which is kind of went viral. It's like 30-minute read, very kind of this interactive like uh, take on agency and like the agentic age. And what's interesting about that is I feel like there is an opportunity for like almost like a renaissance of forums if that
hmm,
continues. Like if people go back to, newsletters are great, you should have one, but people are tired of subscribing to them, right? People are tired of getting emails. And even there are challenges that, you know, folks are noticing that are coming from X right now, where they realize like their open rates aren't as high because people don't get their emails at all. Like if you have the Substack app, you don't actually have to get, you know,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
you get your updates via
the
email. You
airbox. Yep.
yeah. So, um, yeah, I'm curious, like, how you think about. the opportunity for forums in this world where people are blogging again, right? If people are just writing on websites again, then where does the discussion happen, right?
Yeah.
I think that was the classic like web 2.0 like forum like value prop is like everyone has their website, everyone's blogging, but no one has comments on their sites, right? There's no like dialogue, so everyone kind of like comes to the town center, which is the forum, and
Mhm.
that's where links are shared. That's where discussion happens, and that was kind of the rise of like Reddit and Dig.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that it's like less of a control of forcing conversation in a certain place and more of like I think Notion does a really good job at this with like their community. I think they went on the extreme side. Now they're trying to like push it back a little bit to like have their own platform area hosted spot. But initially, like any conversation around Notion, anything else, like it was all member driven and they supported that. So like a member could start a Notion Philly Discord, whatever, and like they would kind of support that. They wouldn't really be involved. They wouldn't be answering questions or anything, but like that would be like a Notion community. So it's kind of like giving the community back to the members, the people. It's going to be a little bit more scattered. It's going to be probably a lot less moderated, a lot less controlled. But yeah, that's how I would approach it of just being like, okay, like we have our own platform, things like that. But like we also have to know that like I
Unknown
don't want to
caller.
control the conversation to just
Mm,
this area and like how can we still support where our members are wanting to chat
yeah.
and to do their own thing. I saw that Angela had a question too about like how to approach in real life events and engagement. um
I also saw that same question,
yeah.
and to staple on there, I'm interested in the thought process, like because I think it matches well. Do you guys think, or Max, do you think in general, we'll get to the point where instead of doing, like for example, Substack did a party in DC not too long ago, and I thought that was when I saw it, I was like, that's bloody clever. I never knew, or at least not in the circles or etc. Where applications throw like events like that. I've seen I've been to the conferences, I've been to the tech conferences, I've been to the hacker conferences where, I'm constantly sold on how awesome this thing is. Um, but I've never just been to an event that was um, very IRL event, very, hey, mix and mingle with other people on the platform. Um, so yeah, I'm like, is that like, are we in the place now where IRL events are almost preferred in order to build community, or will we see that in the coming years, especially when the fact that we have real problems of AI bots, conversating in
Yeah.
forums instead of people,
Yeah.
and the only way to actually prove you're a person is to see your face.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
um I think since the floodgates have opened where you can meet in real life again, like it's becoming a more and more bigger thing. I think it will continue to follow that trend. I think it'll still be like hybrid model, right? Of like online component, in-person stuff too. I think is just like a good blend of everything. One thing I love that like some communities are doing is they're basically, they know that they can't like be everywhere hosting events, right? Unless you have a huge budget where you can go to like New York, Miami, DC, Philly, like SFLA, like where your members are. It gets expensive. So like I think what a lot of bigger brands or companies are doing is they're like, okay, we have members in each one of these cities. Why don't we activate them as ambassadors to host their own events? We'll send them kits of everything for swag or whatever, or we'll bring in, a guest speaker, will help with like sourcing the venue, will help all the stuff, but we don't need to physically be in each and every spot. Um, and it's really member driven. And I think that that's like working really well. And I see a huge like future in that, is giving your members opportunity to kind of like run their own meetups if they want to, with your support, of course. Like here's a playbook of exactly how to do it or how we would do it. Um, giving them freedom and flexibility too, and then like allowing, because that way too, like you can have like a month long of events without having to each be at each one. And it's really cool to like see your own members meet up together, um, and mingle and connect and build without like you having to be there to like run the show.
No, that
Have
makes
you heard
sense.
of I hope that answered your question, Angela. Feel free to drop a follow up. But have you heard of Angel Squad, Max?
Yes.
Angel Squad nails that.
Yeah.
I've been to a
What
couple of
is
their
that?
events in LA. Angel Squad is like the YC of angel investing. It's like this
Ah, okay.
like exclusive, very expensive uh, community, like paid like community. But yeah, it's a great group, and they have like chapters all over the world.
Yeah.
They have like chapter leaders, and they send like they have budgets for each like city, and there's like someone that runs it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm,
there's
pretty cool.
a lot of cool stuff out there.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think the overall theme of this, if I could sum up community building and like where I think it's heading, is just like, and what I love about it is just like giving the power to your members to help decide things. Like build with them, don't build stuff for them. I mean, build stuff for them, but also like get them involved in the process. Like the best communities are the ones that like get members involved. If that's through, like product feedback or testing, or having them come out to events or hosting their own stuff, or like, you have a member that is really popular on a platform, like how can we, and they love being engaged with the community that you have here, like how can we best support one another? Like how can they get the word about us there where we don't have a presence, and we want it to be more authentic and not come off as like a brand or whatever else it is. um
Mhm.
so yeah, it's just really like, it's really just building with your members. I think a lot of times, I think the key, like, difference of just regular marketing and community building is like marketing is like really like talking to your people, um and community is like building with your people. um
Oh, I like
so
that.
yeah, yeah,
I like that.
that's how I would say. There's a lot of similarities in both, um but I think that's like a key difference of like how I would describe what general like marketing and community building are.
Mm.
That's very very good, Max. I think we got a good quote.
Yeah,
Nice, you got the
marketing is like
quote.
the quick turnaround, and community is the long game, and I like that. I like
Yes,
that a lot.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like you can throw a bunch of money into a marketing campaign, that's great, but that might only bring like one or two new eyes versus like when I have been brought to a product and a friend has introduced it to me, like Obsidian, we were just talking about that. One of my
Mhm.
closest friends was just like, "You'll love this," and I was just like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." I'm trying to make Notion work. I'm in here like Notion's my full time job, trying to make templates and designs and data tables and stuff like that. And then my friend showed me his Obsidian, right? Not paid by them, that doesn't work for them, just really loves the tool. And it was an instant connect. And I was just like, yeah, that's
Mhm.
it. That's the Node app I've been waiting for. Like markdown files, local first, etc. Like everything that I genuinely love, and I can hack on it all I want. But I wouldn't have found that app at all because I wasn't like looking directly for another notes app. I wouldn't have been a part of any of their marketing, analytics, or anything of that factor. It would not have grabbed me.
Mhm.
Um, and I have a pretty positive, rule. If I see it on YouTube, I don't buy it or download it. Like if it's advertised at me a lot, if it's popping up in every video I'm watching, I tend to just start ignoring that product immediately. Mainly that's just my own context of rage against the machine. But I
Yeah.
digress. So like if it's advertised to me, I'm just not like it's just not gonna be a thing. Um,
Well,
but
and
yeah,
I think that's where, and I have to hop in a few, because
no,
I have
you're good.
a call, but I think that's where community and marketing can work really well together if they aren't under the same wing is that like marketing probably has data on who is referring the most people, right? Community can work with these people to like really build with them more, to create more referrals, to create more stuff to like why they're referring people. How can we continue to encourage this behavior? How can we reward these people for already doing the work that they're doing? And so I think that's how like even if it's like different things, community and marketing, community and product, anything else can like really work together to like solve the bigger problem.
I love it. I think we can probably end it there, man. That was
Nice.
brilliant. That was brilliant, sir. Where can the people find you? What are you working on next? What are you
Yeah.
excited about?
People can find me here on
Mhm,
Substack. I think just by searching my name, it will show up.
mhm,
I'm also, I know it gets a lot of hate. But the only other platform I'm on is LinkedIn. I have a lot of fun with it. I try to create content that isn't the general, like stuffy corporate
mhm,
talk.
The only
Um,
reason why I have LinkedIn, which is probably a duplicate, is because of Max. Because like I'll get on LinkedIn, I'll see his like yelling post at me on
yeah,
Tuesdays, and then I'll get on notes, and I'm like, he's yelling at me here too.
yeah.
Um,
It's
but
I like just doing the stuff that's like a little different. So that's another
agreed.
place. And yeah, I'm just generally excited about being in the community space. And also yeah, living back east and being closer now to like places like New York and DC and just being able to travel to like more events in real life and connecting more with people.
mhm.
So yeah, rumor has it Jonathan might be in Philly this summer, so we can connect in real
And
life. So yeah,
in July, to be exact,
yeah,
and looking
yeah.
forward to
So
it. Absolutely,
yeah,
Nice.
so yeah,
gonna be
Awesome.
awesome.
Well,
Fantastic coffee.
I'll be back there for a week during the Christmas holiday. Not sure if you'll still be around,
amazing.
but yeah.
I'll be here.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah. No,
Cool.
I don't leave the East
cool.
All right,
Coast.
man.
Everything else to me doesn't actually exist. I visit. I don't stay. I like the East Coast,
Yeah.
100%. Um, but no,
Cool.
this has been great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. Looking forward to doing these more and yeah, keep doing these. These are so much fun. So
Right?
yeah, yeah.
Thanks,
It's
man.
also a really great way to break up the day, just chatting, talking
Yes.
to friends on like
Exactly.
live. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right,
Exactly.
guys.
Cool.
All right,
Enjoy the
Max.
rest of your day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go make some coffee. Later.
See ya.
Have a good one.
All right,
Bye.
bye.